Hey guys, a few of you have asked me to share this storyboarding tool that I've created, and I wanted to just create a video showing what you can do with it and all of the bugs and difficulties in here if you want to use it before actually sharing it with you. So just a big disclaimer, this was just made in a couple of days and it's 70% vibe coded, so don't expect a perfect software. But it's free and it's also on GitHub. If you want to do a copy of the software and make your own changes, you can also do that. But I'll just walk you through what you can do with it and the problems that are existing in here. First of all, this was tested only on Chrome. So if you're going to use this on Safari or Firefox or other browsers, then you might find more problems. So I would recommend using Chrome for this. So what is this software? It is essentially just a way to create a storyboard for your project. So if you're planning a small short film or like VFX shots you want to create, or even like a bigger feature film or TV series or something like that, you can just sketch it in here and create a storyboard and create a quick shot list out of that automatically and create a quick previs out of that automatically as well. So how does it work? There's two ways to start this. You can either load in files, image files, and this is the preferred way to work with this really, because the drawing tools included in the software is not very good. So I'd recommend actually importing your image files. But before doing any of that, I would recommend starting a project. So new project, and you have to save it somewhere. So I'm just going to put it somewhere, give it a name, and just press save. And that gives you a SBP file, storyboard project file, and that file will contain all of your data you create in this page in here. So you have to keep in mind that this is not a cloud-based software, so it's not going to store all of your images and your data in the cloud. You have to keep saving your progress every time you do anything. And there's an indication on the top here that says if your project is saved or if there's any changes that are not saved. If it's orange, then you have changes that are not saved. And if it's red, then it's been a while since you saved. Then you should definitely save. And the project file that you have on your system will contain the whole project. So all of the images you create in here, or later on if you add audio files or stuff like that to the project, all of that will be stored in the project file. I would recommend trying to keep the project file as small as possible, so include as little as possible in the project in here. Otherwise, your file will be massive and it will be probably hard to read it on your browser. There is some advanced setup or settings to reduce the compression of the files that are included. I wouldn't recommend changing too much in here, but you can play around if you want to make your file a bit smaller. Now let's start by adding images. So you can either add an image in here and upload something or draw something in here. We'll go through the drawing in a bit, but you can upload one file if you want. Or if you want to upload a whole folder with a lot of images you've already created, then you should go to the file section in here and go to import images, and you get this window in here. And if you have a project with a lot of shots, a lot of scenes, then I would recommend opening this in here and looking at the structured files you can set up first. So in your file browser and your computer, if you store your scenes in this manner, like a scene first and a shot folder underneath it, and then you have the frame for each shot, then this structure will be easily recognized by the system in here, and it will create all of the correct scene numbers, shot numbers, and frame numbers for you. So you have examples in here of how you can structure this. You can either have the name of the file be where you write the scene number, shot number, and frame number, and that will also be recognized. Or you can do a foldered structure like this. Or if you only have files with just different numbers or different names, then it will only recognize them as frames, and you will have to go in and change the shot numbers and scene numbers. So I'll show you a couple of examples of that. So I'll go to the select image files in here, and I'll keep this automatically recognize file structure in here. So it will automatically do that for me. And I'll browse to, let's say, this folder. This folder only has singular frames without any folder structure for the scenes. So if I load this in, it would say that there is no recognized structure, and it will only give you frame numbers. So if I load these, you would see that there's no scene numbers or shot numbers in here. It will only include frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, and so on. You can then go in and press on the image and change the information in here. So let's say you want this to be shot 001 and scene 001. You save, and that will be recognized in here. And if you change, if this would be like a scene 2 now, it will change in place to be after all of the scene 1 shots or frames. And there's a lot you can do in here. You can replace the image. You can edit the image using the provided drawing system. I would not recommend doing that in here, but you have the ability to do that if you want. So I'll just cancel this. And obviously you need to write a description in here. So you can write whatever you want in here for the shots. Now, if we scroll down, you can see that the some of the images are smaller in the resolution. So I would recommend if you import images, you will have the same resolution in all of them. So keep that in mind. As you can see at the top now, it says that the file is not saved. So you have to go in and just save this in here. And you can see that it says project successfully saved. And it's green in here. So that's the importing only frames. So I'll just start this project again. So I'll just do a new project and I'll say yes, just to store whatever I had. And let's just go back and I'll do an override of the existing file in here. There we go. And let's import the second structured files I have in here. So this one, the second one, I've already included frames with the scene name, shot name, and frame number. If I select that now, you can see it automatically says I have 2 scenes, 2 shots, and so on. If I load this, you can see that the scenes are set, the shots are set, and in here is correct, and so on. So this is the better way to work. Let's actually reload this because I didn't save, just to show you another example. Let's open the project first, this one, and let's import the images. And now I'll import the third example I have in here, which is with a foldered structure. So you have scene name, you have shot name, and then you have the frames inside. So that's the third example of what you can import. So if I was going up, and if I select this now and import it, you can see that it's importing the correct structure in here. So if I load these images, they also have the correct information, which is great. Cool. So that's the importing of files. And this is your page setup or the storyboard page setup. And if you go to the settings in here, you have page settings. You can change some of the settings in here, the scale of these images and so on. I would recommend not playing too much with this, especially the layout in here will bug out if you add too many of them and stuff like that. So I would keep it as it is, to be honest. And then you have further down, you have the page color, and you have more settings, like you can have a cover page before the images you have in here. And in that cover page, you can write the project file, like test file, and you can give it the correct font you want or whatever, correct color maybe. And give it a year, let's say 2026, and this was by Al-Tobi, like this, and then you can change the color here if you wanted, and so on. You can add a logo. So that's the cover page if you wanted that. I'll remove this now, and you can enable page numbers in here if you want. It's good to have that if you have many pages. And if you have different scenes in the same page, you can separate them in here so they kind of have their own page for each scene. Now I don't have that in this setup right now, but if you had that, then it will automatically fix that for you. Further down we have enable watermark. So in here you can, if you can export this and you want like a big text over this so no one copies this, then you can do that in here. You can write something, let's say this is a test and some random text. And you can see that text is on here. You can increase the opacity if you wanted. And you can even have an image as a watermark in here. You can load that in and it will be added in here. I'll remove this now. So that's the page settings. And then you have the text settings for all the text in here. I'm not going to go through all of that, but You also have the scale of this rectangle of the shot number and scene number and frame number. You can change that in here. And then we have the annotation tools in here. And this is where the first kind of big bugs start showing up. So it should work to a certain degree. You can write like annotations on the page. But I would really not recommend that because it has a lot of bugs everywhere. So I would just clear all of this and keep it without this annotation. But if you wanted something, you can use that. And as I said in here, you have the advanced settings with the image compression. And lastly, you have some project information, like how many frames you have, shots, scenes, pages, and more information about your project. So this is the settings in here. And you can zoom in and out of the page in here if you want to zoom in and make it bigger. And this is just the for the view. Now, what we have in here, we can go to File and export this and export it as a PDF. And you can give it a name if you want, but I'll just export it as it is. And I'll show you the look of this. If we were to open this, you can see we have a PDF file in here with the shots in here, the page number, and whatever you need in here, really. So we didn't write any description. So if you had written anything in here, let's do that on some of them in here, like this. And if we were to export this now and take a look at this, let's see, you can see you have some description underneath the images, which is what you need to give some direction to the crew. So that's the storyboard. Let's actually add manually an image where we draw, just to show you the drawing functions. And by the way, you have a way to write text on the bottom of the page as well if you wanted. So I'm going to press on the plus at the end in here and just go to create a drawing. And I'll start by just giving it a scene number, let's say scene 3. And I'll go shot 1 and frame 1. Or let's, I don't know if I have a scene 3 already, I'll do scene 4. And I'll do 0, 0 because in case I have like 100 scenes, then I can, have the correct order in them. So this is the drawing function or drawing tool. You have some basic elements in here. You have text, you have some brush tools, and you have a layering system, and you even have like some effects in here. You can add some filtering if you wanted. Blending mode and opacity, just like a Photoshop tool, and you can add layers in here. The big issue with this tool now is the undo and redo functions. So if I were to draw something now, let's say a human or something, if you wanted to go back, so basically undo what you did, it's bugging out. So it so it removed everything besides the arm now, so it doesn't make any sense. If you want to use this tool, I would recommend working in layers. So start by, let's remove this layer first. Add the layer, let's say you draw the human and you're happy with that. And if you wanted to continue, I would add another layer and let's say we add a road or something. So that's a road. And if you're not happy with the road, instead of just undoing this now, we can just delete the road in here and so on. Just so you avoid the undo tools really, as it's bugging out. This is something I hopefully will fix in the future, but right now this is the initial version of the software, and I'll when I get some time I'll take a look and try to fix all of this. So you have some erasing tools, you have some shape tools. So if you want to add, like, let's say arrows for the camera movement, let's say you want the camera to move like this, then you can do that, and you can go back to the selection tool and move these around if you wanted to add some of that direction. So this is the drawing tool. You can flip and flop things, and there's some other tools in here. And obviously the effect tools in here. If you wanted to add, let's say, blur, you can blur all of these arrows. I'll not do that, so I'll just press X. And let's say we want to keep this. You can just press on keep and keep it in the project, or you can keep this and save it to disk as well if you want to export it to disk as well. So I'll keep it, and now if we go down, we have this in here. We can add some information to it. And if you want to change this again, you can go in and edit the image, but now it's stored as the background layer, as you can see in here. So you can add more stuff above it. So this is the drawing tool. It's not perfect, it's buggy, and it has not a lot of functions. So I would recommend drawing your stuff in Paint or Photoshop or GIMP or Procreate or whatever you use, and then import them in here. Now that we have a storyboard, we can continue to our shot list. So let's go to shotlist, and you can see automatically we have a list of the existing shots we have in the storyboard. And this software is all about automation and just making it easier for you to have the shot list and the previz. So that's the whole point of having this automatically in here. As you can see, you have scene 1, and you have in the scene you have the shot 1, shot 2, and so on, and each of them have multiple frames. Just so you understand what the frames are. So let's say you have a let's go back to the drawing board in here. Let's say you have a road in here, and you have a human standing in here, and you're following them. And at some point, they're walking in here, and at some point they will start walking this way, and you want to get like another view of this section in here while they are in here. So I would do, even if it's the same shot, like you following the character from one place to another, I'll start, my frame in here, and I'll do maybe another frame in the middle somewhere, and I'll do another frame at the end somewhere in here. And that way you have 3 frames that represent the shot you're going through, but it's one shot. So it's multiple frames within the shot. Hope that's understandable. So I'll cancel this. Oh, and I can see, even if I cancel it, it appeared in here. I'll actually remove it manually in here, like this. So yeah, there's bugs everywhere. And keep in mind that you have to keep saving, otherwise your work will be lost. So let's go back to the shot list and talk about a couple of things. So by default, you can see that each of the frames is set to be 1 second long, and you can change that manually. You can change it in the settings in here. And in the setting for each of the shots, you have a lot of information you can add. You can add some information about the location, the characters, the camera movement, and so on. Not all of this information will be added in here, but some of it is already visible in here. If you wanted to add more columns that are visible in here, you can go into the settings and you can add columns. And let's say we add a test column in here and press save. You can see we have a test column in here. So this shot is right now, doesn't have any description, it doesn't have any information. The important thing in here is the setup time, the predicted takes, and the duration of the shot. So if we were to fill these in here, so let's say we will use 30 minutes to set up this shot, and I'll switch to seconds just to write this easier. Let's say the 2 frames that we have in this shot will be a total of 5 seconds long, and we predict that we're going to have 5 takes to get this right. So if I save this now, this information is updated in here, and it will give you an estimated time you will need to do this shot. Right now we haven't filled the second shot in here, but if you fill that, that will be added in here as well. And the reason why it's longer than the setup times and the time you need to film this is that I've added in the settings in here a multiplier for the amount of time you have in the production to be multiplied by a certain higher amount to give you more room in your production. And from my own experience, you will always need more time than you have scheduled. So I would recommend keeping it at 1.5 or higher. So I'll cancel this. So if I were to go in and add more information about the setup time for the second shot, let's say this takes 15 minutes to set up, and we need 3 takes, and it's 4 seconds long, that's fine. Now that's included in the summary for the shot in here. And if you fill all of that information for each of the shots you have, you will get a predicted production time in here, and this will help you to plan your filming day. Once you have all of this information filled, you can also export this. So let's go to export and export the shot list, and you can change some settings in here, and you can give it a name, like this is a test project, and I can export this. I'll add it in here as it is, and let me show you the file. So this is the file that's exported. You have the information in here, and you have the extra column we added in here as well, and it gives you like the general information you have this in this shot list. So this will be helpful for you if you're gonna go to production and be on set. I'll exit this, and let's jump into the Previz section in here. And by default, the previous timeline will be filled with the shots we have. And if we play this, this will go through the shots, and it will respect the time we added in the shot list. But you can also change the time in here. I'll show you that in a second. But the first thing I want to say is keep it very simple in this timeline. You can add video tracks and audio tracks and add a lot of stuff in here, but you will get a lot of bugs. So keep it as simple as possible, because you just want to get the timing correct in here. And after you've done with this, you just export this as an XML and add it to your editing software like DaVinci Resolve or Premiere or Avid or whatever other tools you use. So keep it as simple as possible. Just get the timing correct and then ignore everything else, really. You can import audio and put it in here just to get the correct timing if you want. And if you want to change the time in here, you can either just drag the line in here and drag it above all the shots, and it will automatically update. And that information, the length of that frame, will automatically update as well in the information we have in here. So we have 2 frames in here. If we go to the Previz and see this one, if you double click on it, you can see this is 108 frames. And the second one is 60 frames. So the total of that is 168, which is what we have in here. So it should be respecting your edits in here. You can drag shots, move them around. But if you do that, you will get an automatic recommended shot number to do that, because if you want to change placement of frames, then you have to change the frame number or shot number or scene number to get them into the correct place. I would recommend not doing that in here. I would recommend going into the storyboard and changing that information in here. So that's the timeline, which is a very simple way to just visualize your movie. And this is a very good way to just get an indication of how long your movie will be with all of this storyboarding you're doing. There's some more settings in here and compression settings, and you can remove this to the side and so on. And generally that's it really for this tool. Make sure to save your file and make sure that your file is not very big in size. So right now it's 7 megabytes, but you can imagine if this had like 1,000 images, then this will be very large in size. Cool, that's it really. I hope this will be a useful tool for you. Please comment in the comment section if you find more bugs and if you want more features added. I will take a look at this in the future, but for now you can just find it in this link in here and use it as it is. Thank you very much.